This is Mike Coffin, Vice President of the Ataxia Brotherhood, and your Wrestle Fandom Radio Champion, and you are watching Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Hello and welcome. It's Garrett. It's Todd. No Joe, but it's still Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Woohoo!
And we are here. Joe, unfortunately, as a lot of people knows, we've talked about, he got mandated because work is work. Unfortunately, we have other jobs. We wish this was our only job. We really do. Because Joe should be here because he's one half of the champ right here. Me and him together, co-champs. Or as he would say, co-CHAMPs of the D. That's right.
I feel like I have large shoes to fill, or a seat to fill, or something to fill.
Hey, you got your own show on 92.7 The Drive, which I listened to last night, by the way.
Thanks,
we were listening to, as we were coming back, we were doing family pictures last night.
Beautiful.
Me and the whole family. And, put on a little bit of Todd time.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great. So we got, two big things to get here. But before we do that, obviously, we still have to thank our sponsors with who we would not be here. If you need ink, if you need piercings, you're going to go to Rockin' Horse Tattoo. Be nice if I could talk today.
Yeah.
But yeah, go to them, tell them that we sent you, and everything will be all right. If you need any type of apparel, if you need anything printed, go to Seasonal Sports and talk to Fred. And again, tell him that we sent you.
Now, did you say the other day he does like car wraps and stuff too?
I know that they've done them before.
That's crazy.
There's his truck is the side of his truck is wrapped. So go to them. They'll definitely steer you in the right direction. And also, we have our own store right on there. If you want some really good stuff, check this out. Check this shirt out. Look at this. Look at that.
That is a sweet shirt.
Right?
That's actually legitimately the first time I've seen that. You told me it was here when I walked in, but I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Right.
So that is the first time, 100% real, natural. That's an awesome shirt, straight up. That's high quality right there.
And that's one of the ones this is getting a little ridiculous, right?
A little heavy.
Yeah. A little ridiculous. I mean, it's a big thing being the champ.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, see if we can set that right there. But it's so pretty.
It is.
And then our newest sponsor, the Freeman Formula. Okay. If you want to run better, okay, upgrade yourself. Look at this. Okay. This little shot will clear your brain right up. This is not an energy shot. No, there's no jitters. There's no pick me up. It's literally, I am alert. I know what's going on. It is brain formula, right like it says on the bottle. It is for real. I have taken it. It's great.
Yeah, the energy shots, man, you seem to have the energy for like an hour, and then you just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
And
then you crash. It's terrible. So, yeah, check right in the comments. Everything is right in there. And also, if you go to Freeman Formula, you go use the promo code Disruption, get 15% off. So
everybody loves savings.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
How can you not? Especially nowadays.
Yeah. You got to save money. Everyone loves
absolutely.
It. Yeah. So, first up is this weekend, you and I are going to Immortal Things 3.
I'm stoked.
I don't even know what this is. We should be further along in Immortal Things because they've been running longer, but COVID knocked everything back, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It shut them down for over you shut everything down for over a year in the wrestling. I think in 2020, I think we did like 2 shows, and then we got shut down, and then we didn't come, and then Immortal didn't come back until I think it was July. Of last year. So yeah, July or even maybe August. So I'm super excited.
I am
this
too,
show. Man. Yeah. First off, this is going to be your first show.
Yep.
Coming there.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome. And for the first time ever, we will have an actual merch table. If you want some of those T-shirts, we also have bandanas. I should have brought a bandana in too for people to see. So we have bandanas, 2 different kinds, green camo and black.
Oh, nice variety.
Yeah, and then we have those T-shirts, tons of different sizes. I guarantee we will, at least I'm hoping we'll have your size, and you'll be working that table when it's open. Other than that, you're going to be in the back with me, seeing how everything runs,
schmoozing, because
it's awesome. And in the words of Ant, who used to be one of the co-hosts here, it might ruin how you view shows, because once you see how everything operates, it's like, I don't want to go sit out there with everybody else,
No, absolutely.
But it's going to be great because the talent on this card is stacked. And I mean, obviously, we want to sit here. We work with Immortal Championship Wrestling. We want to sit here and talk them up and say everything. But this card seems a little bit ridiculous. Ridiculous on the good side.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ataxia, the boys from Ataxia, who we have Wicked and Slade, they've been the tag running around. They're going to be going against Adam Stone and Keenan Moore. All right. Now, they had a little bit of a hiccup. The boys from Ataxia had a little bit of a hiccup, but I guarantee they're going to be right back on the straight and narrow, because I know from his own words when he was here, the Wrestle Fandom Radio champion, Coffin of Ataxia, put them right back on the straight and narrow. So
good.
So there's that. Then we're going to have a 4-way match, which, oh my God, I love multi-wrestler matches so much. Yeah. I really do.
It always makes for the best matches. Yeah,
it's just so the fast pace, the constant contact, and it's so great. So Cloudy, who we haven't seen in Immortal in a few years, he will be back against Shell Connors versus TJ Epics versus Saren Rain. All 3 of the newer guys who've been coming in. Taking it. TJ Epics was the guy who won the Rumble in Rome. And he won it in fashion. It was so good. And then and Saren Rain, who people might remember, was the guy who thought he could take on Brute Van Slyke, and he told me he was going to hit me in the face, which is fine. I understand the mode that they have to get into. But yeah, I tried to help him. I did. I tried to save him. But I mean, he did good. He did good.
All you can do is
against
try.
him. Exactly. That's very good. All you can do. It's Brute Van Slyke. All you can do is try. When you see him in person, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh my God, he tried to wrestle this guy. Yeah, he's a monster. All right, so that's going to be entertaining. I freaking love 4-way matches. And speaking of Brute Van Slyke, we have Brute Van Slyke against the Greek god Papadon. Okay, now both of these men have been Immortal champion. Papadon had the longest reign, and this is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah,
crazy, because okay, I could get into the million reasons why it's going to be crazy, but it's literally it's Greek god Papadon versus Brute Van Slyke. This is just going to be, in the words of JR, a slobber knock. Okay, it's going to be, and I know like other people have been like, "Did you just say that?" Yes, I have. Okay, and if you happen to be a fan, or have heard of, or have seen anything ever about it, of Jersey Shore, you know who J-Wow is. Even if you don't watch it, you know who J-Wow is. And her fiance is Zach Clayton. Zach Clayton is a wrestler who is making his Immortal Championship Wrestling return for the first time. God, I don't even know. It was a few years. It was, obviously with the COVID break too. Mm-hmm. It was a few years ago. And he's coming back against also the returning Tyler Vincent. This match is going to be insane. Okay. Tyler Vincent was the guy who kept on wrestling when he was at every Immortal show, the string where he was always at every single Immortal show. he was always the guy wrestling the big time, the big brought in talent. People like Zach Lane, people like Billy Gunn. Okay, his match against Billy Gunn was insane. Okay, these two are going to have one hell of a match, and I cannot wait to see it.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be
great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And then let's see where else are we going. We got a lot of wrestlers, coming through. We got another tag team match we got coming is the Natural Destroyers are going against Black and Yellow, and I mean Black and Yellow are so good, but I feel bad.
I mean,
the Natural Destroyers.
If your name is the Natural Destroyers,
I mean when you see these guys, I mean, TK is, he's always been he's a big guy. He's always been a big guy, but he trimmed down, and he's like, and you would think that somebody who trimmed down would be less scary, technically being smaller, and he's scarier. And like he's even more intense. He's pissed at the crowd, And then Nick Sullivan is just literally, he's a human wall. A wall. If I was to 3-point stands, all right, I am 6'4" and I weigh 219 pounds. If I was to 3-point stands and run at Nick Sullivan, okay, who's a good deal shorter than me, I would probably break my shoulder, my clavicle, and then like just drop to the ground and just cry. Okay, he's literally a human wall. All right, it just and. At one point, these two guys put on, one of the, I can't remember if they did the awards back then. It could have been Match of the Year. It was insane. I think it might have been out in one of the Schenectady shows. It might have been at the Armory, and the place was huge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And there was a spear that happened on the apron. It was like deafening in that whole huge place. That's how loud it was. It was insane. Anyways, I do feel a little bad for Black and Yellow. Great tag team. This is the Natural Destroyers. I'm a little bit scared. I'm not gonna lie. We're still gonna have people like Garrett Holiday there. Our Wrestle Fandom Radio champion Coffin's going to be there. I do not know who he's wrestling. I was just about to ask that if you knew. Really bad for whoever it is. It looks like Kennedy Copeland is still going to be there. Now we have the tag team champions, the Stetsons, are going to be taking on Infinity and Beyond. Cheech, who has been at a few of the shows recently, versus Colin Delaney, who we saw also at AEW, and they. It was Rochester. He's local. I mean, the whole place was clapping for him. So that's got to feel awesome to go to AEW and have, and have that. So yeah. So then there's that, and then our women's champ Kayla Sparks, again, who also wrestled at AEW, which we'll get to after, is taking on Trish Adora. And you and I also went to the meet and greet. Yep. Shot, got a couple of good photos and shot a quick promo video. And so if you want to see that, go right to our page and you'll see the Spice Ranger, Kayla Sparks, and the Moonlight Sun Mike Skyros, your ICW champion, cut a nice promo against everyone. But yeah, she's gonna be taking on Trish Adora. Again, I mean, if you've seen either of them wrestle, you know what you're going to see. And then, of course, we have Mike Scaros going against Dirty Dango, a.k.a. Fandango. I mean, what's to be said about this?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. I mean, they're all going to be great. Yeah. But, you see, like someone like Fandango, who you watch in the WWE and, and NXT, bounce around. But he was always amusing. He was always, he's a good wrestler, very good wrestler, but he was always amusing to watch. He always brought it. So to see him in a different light, I guess, if you will. Exactly. Not that high profile, like something that's a little more down to earth, a little more relaxed. To me, seeing people that come from like the professionals to something like that, it's a whole different ballgame. Right. Because they have different control over who they are, what they do, and and that just that's the one thing, not to astray, that I don't like about WWE is that they take away the freedom for creative,
absolutely,
and that sucks because there are some people they do let I know Bray Wyatt, that was his idea, and the dude ran with it, and that was honestly probably one of the best characters I've ever seen, period, come out of that company.
Right.
The way he took it, made it his own, twisted it, everything. I honestly personally wish I could have saw more of him and Alexa Bliss. I thought that was a cool pairing, what they did with her, and I know she wanted to do a lot more, and she, if Bray ever came back, I saw that, she said she would love to work with him again.
Right.
But, going back to Immortal, it is just cool to see somebody that came from that to do something different, but have more freedom.
Right. Well,
and that's the fun part of it.
I feel like because obviously they were doing the Fashion Police stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then,
which was amusing to a degree.
Complex Mouther says Red Rooster. That's all I have to say about WWE Creative. Oh, and Butch. Yes, Complex. Oh my God! But talk about taking one of the best wrestlers and just making him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
it was just
I was gonna say. I feel like yes, when they went to NXT, they still did some of the Fashion Police stuff, but the wrestling that they got to do was better.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because you're seeing Fandango do all this stuff, and I was like, I forgot he was such a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And then again, to then see him when he was in Immortal before, it was so good. It's like all the stuff that they did, it's like, yes, were they entertaining? Yes, but then you forget how good their ring skills are, how good their mat skills are.
And that's
all the stuff that they can do. And Fandango is so good, or Dirty Dick, he's so good.
Well, that's the thing I noticed too at WWE is they put sometimes too much on the character.
Right.
And then people stop paying attention to the wrestling and focus too much on who the character is and what they're doing and that person's at the, and then it kind of pulls away from, what wrestling is, there's many parts to it. The storytelling, the background, and the wrestling. Right. And you got to have equal. If you start pushing one more than the other, you're going to pull from everything else.
Absolutely.
And it ruins any storyline. It just craps out on it,
right.
Which, WWE is very known for.
Absolutely. Yeah. They'll definitely run a storyline or somebody else to death. Can we please get a different Seth Rollins? Please.
Well, I mean,
give me back the actual Monday Night Messiah stuff and not this, just anything.
Have you seen that male model crap?
No, because I currently find most of WWE unwatchable right now. I will go back to because I use the site that it's the Wrestle feed.
Okay,
that Joe put me onto, which really helps fine tune the things that you see. And so I read the results for every single show. I know what happens.
Yeah.
But to actually watch it, I'm just like, it's hard.
It is,
and especially when you have another big company like AEW. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people who say you have to watch this. This sucks. This just a lot of the stuff I currently find unwatchable. I would love to love it because it's WWE and it's been there for me since I was 7 years old.
But they keep flip-flopping. So, Lacey Evans. Okay. So I know you didn't, catch Raw. So, Lacey Evans, when she first came out, she was whatever she was. Some sailor chick type thing, when she first whatever.
Yeah. Because she actually served, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so they were kind of partially using that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she went away. Then she came back with a ton of videos of the story of her life that was supposed to be this tear-jerking, drug abuse and apparent, whatever. So then she comes out, and I think people kind of liked her. So Raw, she comes out and felt that people weren't cheering enough for her. So she went backstage, came back out again. Same thing. Did that 3 times. I'm like, this is just stupid. But then she turns heel immediately, goes in the ring, starts talking crap to everybody, about the audience, about everybody, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a crap about, and then it was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with her as a character?
Right.
You literally push this whole sob story of, what her life was and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, within a month of her, coming actually back and, beyond the videos, now you went from trying to push her as like, a baby face by telling this whole story about her to within like a month, all of a sudden now, she hates the they're not cheering enough for her, this, that, and the other thing. It's like you want to have somebody turn heel, that's fine, but you got to build up to it. You got to, put them on a run so when they do it, like Seth Rollins, like that night when he turned on the Shield, no one saw it coming. That was a stable that had been around for a while. Right. People were really behind it, so when it happened, I was like, oh, crap. Wow. They really, went. But it took a while. Her, it was literally like, well, here's this. Nope, month later, nope, screw that.
Right.
We're going to make you this. And it's like, well, you can't. This is how you lose people because you're just jumping all over the place.
You're not sticking with it.
Yeah, you're not even, even do it for 6 months and then turn. Like I said, with Judgment Day, they should have taken that longer before they turned on Edge.
Right.
Like
the same night. As they get a new member, they just turn it on Edge.
And now Rhea's out, so I mean, you're just down to those two. But
it's so good.
Oh, yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like you should have waited. The Nation, you waited. You brought The Rock into the Nation, and then it was a period of time before he turned on everybody and turned on Farouk and made it, him the leader, but no one saw it coming because you stretched it out. And it's their creative. It just seems, it's been terrible for a long time, but it's just going too fast with everything.
Right.
You got to slow down. It's a story. No one wants to pick up a Stephen King novel and have it be 5 pages long.
Right.
And be like, oh, here's the beginning. Oh, okay, that's how it ended. Yeah. And you'll be done with it. You have to, that's how you bring people in. You have the ability of wrestlers, but you got to have that story.
Right.
And if you're just changing it, people don't want to watch it. I said this the other day. I was like, the one day I don't watch WWE is the one day a ton of cool stuff is going to happen.
Right.
But I keep watching it and then just keep getting disappointed. So
do us all a favor.
Just stop.
Just don't watch it for a night.
But opening it with Brock Monday was great.
Right.
Little confused on where Alpha Academy kind of came from because Heyman came out and then Theory came out, but then just randomly, Chad Gable and Otis were there. But again, it was impressive to watch Brock pick up Otis and F5 him onto the announcer's table because that dude. Brock's big, but Otis is a tree trunk. He is a beast.
Yeah.
And to see him just do it without any kind of anything, just literally lift him and poof, it was a good opening, but then just, the other part, it was kind of one of those, it was a good opening. Then I don't know if you saw that Ziggler came back.
Right. Yeah.
And then super kicked Theory after, but he, helped Riddle win, so again, there's another one. What are you doing with this guy? He was up here forever, then he was in NXT, now he's, and it's just like, what are you doing? So, yeah, man, maybe I will try to not stop watching, but I'll give it a break, but I'm telling you.
That's what I've been.
You're going to get a text from me and be like, son of a, this happened and I didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it? Yeah. It was like the one, the one premium live event, which is what they call them now. That I think Joe didn't get to see was the one where, what's her name, came back.
Bliss?
Becky, when Becky Lynch came back.
Oh, yeah.
And then challenged for the belt, immediately.
Was that Mania? Or was that Rumble?
I don't even remember which one it was. But she came back, challenged for the belt, and then because I think it was last SummerSlam.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And she won it
then she won it, and it was like she came out of nowhere. So he messages me, and he's like, "What the hell is this? Where's she come from? Wasn't she supposed to wrestle Sasha Banks?" And it was like, "Yeah, she was supposed to, but Sasha didn't show up, and then she wrestled her instead." But Yeah, even Complex Mother again is saying it's called storytelling, not even wrestling. You don't watch a show and go, well, it's been 10 minutes now, it's over. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You gotta captivate people.
Yeah.
That's how shows get canceled, is when they don't captivate people, any show in general. Yeah. You start losing whatever, and people are like, and obviously there's been a ton more that came out, about Vince, but people are still whatevering it. It's just...
Yeah, I don't know if I would whatever the new set of stuff that came out. That's a little excessive, especially the reported forced things that happened.
Yeah. Now you're just...
It was like, when it was, you're two adults getting into a relationship, you know what you're getting into. Like, I don't even feel like you should have to pay someone. You should just...
Well... It's the same
that's
thing.
Not my call
no,
to say what is that, but
I feel like it's also the same thing as like, with Clinton. Not to really go off, but you know what? That was a marital issue,
right? That
had nothing. Now if he was sleeping with somebody, and selling nuclear secrets to them,
right?
Oh, okay. That's a whole other ballgame in itself. But it's same with Vince. Like. He has money. It's not like he was, now if he was cutting people's pay and using stuff like that to pay this stuff, okay, that's another story.
Which happened recently.
Yeah.
So is that why? I mean, the guy's a billionaire. Why would he be, like $12 million to a billionaire is...
It's it's what I keep in my wallet,
It's literally
it's
peanuts, so
because he knows that company is there and he'll just keep getting that money. Like that money's not going to go away. But it also, you could tell, it hasn't drawn away from it. There's still people watching. There's still people cheering when Vince comes out. There's still people, it's one of those things where people are like, oh, hey, that might have happened. Whatever.
Right.
And it's because, he's a powerful person. He is a name that if you watch wrestling or not, you know who Vince McMahon is.
Everyone knows who Vince McMahon is.
But it's not to the point where, I guarantee there's not people standing outside in Connecticut of their headquarters protesting Vince McMahon and demanding that he gets fired or, you know what I mean? It's just... it is what it is. It's not excusable.
Oh, by no means.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if there was a whole other set of stuff involved and a lot worse stuff involved, then okay. Right. And I'm not saying, but it seems like for the most part, it was all consensual stuff.
Yeah.
That
Except
he
for one
just
report, which is like.
And again, now, are people just coming out of the woodwork, 15 seconds of fame? That's the hard part to determine, too, between everything. Yeah. Is it the truth, or do you just want the spotlight on you?
Right.
And I'm not saying that in a, condescending or I don't believe them way, but that's unfortunately the way of society today is they see things and try to jump on it.
Be truthful. Yeah. It's going to say, or, it could be somebody who did have the relationship and then say, how can I make mine different? Oh, I can just say it was forced.
Yeah. So again,
I'm not saying that he didn't force it. I'm just saying some people suck.
Yes.
Is all. And they might actually do that.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, with that being said, WWE is, their biggest problem is their PG.
Yeah.
But I know the reason why they're PG is because their toy company literally said, if you do anything else, we're done. Done. Absolutely, we will not make your toys anymore. If you go above PG, we will stop making your toys.
Then get a different company.
The problem is that company, the technology they built and did for them to scan to make sure everything was like as best as it could be. I don't know who else has that in the toy world that has that type of money to spend on that type of machinery. Now, am I saying they should go full out Attitude Era? And there was some stuff in the Attitude Era, then the whole, what was it, Edge and Lita in the bed?
That might even technically have been in, the Ruthless Aggression.
Was that? It might have been.
It might have been.
I started to fade after the Attitude Era.
Yeah, as soon as, because right about when Ruthless started, which you could say it started with John Cena coming out, I had already kind of had a hard time with a lot of stuff then. Yeah. And then I was kind of in and out of just WWE, and then PG era started, and I just couldn't, and then luckily TNA was around then. And that was...
And I truly get it.
Glory years.
Because
06, 7, 8,
Which I have something about TNA and Impact I'll have to bring up to many people that may not know about these free channels on a certain TV company.
Right.
But, and I do get it. Watching now as an adult, being an adult, watching like the Attitude Era, I'm like... I wouldn't want my young children seeing 90% of that crap.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, we want it for us for, like, nostalgia's sake and because, like, we're adults. But it's like, would I want my kids to watch?
No. And it was more
I'm not even sure if I'd let my kids watch a lot of AEWs. Not the promos.
No.
Especially not the Christian promos right now. Oh, my God.
I mean, we were there. I mean, you want to... Let's talk about AEW.
Okay, yeah. Because first off, obviously they taped Dark Elevation, which was great.
Which I love because it seems like they take a lot of local talent.
Yeah, like we said, Colin Delaney
and put them in there, and that is really cool.
That's awesome. Because
it gives them exposure on, not even on like a TV, like just on a different level.
Yeah.
Where people can say, hey, you know what, I know him, I met him, or her, or whoever, and it's just a cool way to help promote, like the smaller brands that are out there.
Absolutely.
WWE does that, but it's more of, we're bringing you in here so this person can just destroy you. No one will ever know your name, where you're from, who you are, nothing. They just know that you're not on our roster, that this guy is new, and they're going to come in and kill you.
Right. Complex Mouther said, rose-tinted glasses and Attitude Era go hand in hand. Absolutely.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
But the other cool part about that was during Dynamite, he came back out with everybody, that whole group that was I can't remember who was facing Wardlow now. Who was the
Scorpio Sky?
Yeah, that whole group that came out, he came back out with them.
Right.
So it wasn't even like he just did the Dark Elevation.
Yeah.
He also got to come out on live TV and be with that, stable while, during that street fight match.
Yeah.
And I believe he got powerbombed.
A lot of local talent. I'm not sure. Did Colin Delaney, was he in that? Or was it just Freddie? Because I know I saw Jay Freddie. I
think Colin was in there.
I'm not even 100%.
I don't think he got power. I think he got clothesline pretty hard.
Yeah. I know Jay Freddie did.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so then we go, the show opens, and now I didn't look at the card kind of on purpose. Like, one, I was very busy last week.
Surprises are better.
And I just wanted to just go and just experience it and not know what was coming. And I totally forgot that Wardlow was going against Scorpio Sky. And obviously I knew, being Men of the Year and being with, is it America? Is it what do they call it?
Oh,
Top Team or something?
Yeah,
like that? America's Top Team, or however they say.
Yeah.
Even though he's Wardlow, even though he's Mr. Mayhem, it was going to be a feat. Didn't matter. He clotheslined people, he powerbombed people.
Oh yeah, he destroyed him. It was a good match though, because it wasn't one-sided.
Yeah, and he won the TNT championship, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, which I didn't expect.
I hope he goes on an epic run with it before moving on eventually to where he's going to be, because he's Wardlow,
And I think that's where like WWE's ruined stuff, is because it is rare that they have titles change hands during a show, like a regular show.
Right.
So I kind of think they almost not beat people into it, but you get so used to that seeing somebody, first of all, an opening match for a title and it changing hands.
Yeah. Well, that's what I really love about AEW as it is right now. So it starts off with a match every time.
Yes.
The promo, if a big promo is going to happen, it'll happen second or later on.
Yep.
like they did when we went, because after that awesome match, Christian came out with Luchasaurus, and then still didn't see. I was hoping to see Jungle Boy. Matt Hardy came out, and he cut such a harsh promo.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all. I mean, everyone. We were all packed. We're right where we were, which was, if you're looking from hard cam to the thing, we were to the right. So we're all sitting there, and we were all just like,
yeah, yeah, because you don't know.
Audible, like you just gasp. This gasp went over the whole place, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that was He's been nailing it. They've been harsh.
I want to see MJF and Christian cut like the harshest promos they can against each other, because that would top the CM Punk.
Pipe bomb?
No, not the pipe bomb, but like the MJF CM Punk, like the 20-minute one where they went back and forth. They went like 2 turns each. And that was a great promo. I feel like if those two went at it, it'd be like the harshest thing you've ever. They'd be just like verbally throwing Molotov cocktails at each other.
It would be one of those things that you have to be there live, because I have a funny feeling it would get to the point where they would either start dropping the mics or just cutting the feed and be like, no, we can't keep doing this.
You can't even say that like live, no camera.
No camera, yeah. But yeah, that's something you would definitely want to be there for live, because that could get ugly not in a bad way, like, whatever, just in a way of like TV-wise, them being like, nope,
yes,
all the
yes, yes, complex censorship, straight up censorship. Yeah, it was.
But whatever they're doing with MJF, I have to say they're doing a really good job with it, because they're not, from my knowledge, they don't sell his merch. He's not on the roster. He's not on the web. They don't talk about it. They don't even mention.
No.
It's not even like, remember when the. It's like he's gone, I
just saw a thing. I don't know where he cut it, but like he released a statement saying that all the ex-WWE guys there can just go to hell. I mean, he's just sticking with it,
just running.
Yeah. So whatever they do, I don't know. I think it's smart.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
I don't. Complex. You think that he actually that was real? Because I mean, the more people I talk, everyone thinks it was like they want it. It's a work that they want to look like, like a real shoot. Like I don't know. I'm not.
That's the thing with him.
They're really if this is a work, this is one of the greatest works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is if it is, like, my hat is off to AEW and MJF, for sticking by it. And I know MJF, I've heard many stories that he doesn't break character ever.
Yeah.
There's, when it first started going on and he was, doing meet and greets and flipping off little kids and stuff like that, people were losing their minds.
Yeah.
But it's like he never broke character, which, if that's the way you want to go, that's cool. That's your job. That's your profession. If it helps you maybe just stay that person and make them yourself, like, hey, rock on.
Right.
But yeah, I if it is a work, like, yeah, dude, seriously.
That's what Complex is saying. He says it's too amazing to be a work.
Yeah.
So if it ends up being so Complex, if it ends up being a work, is it just it's the greatest work of all time? Is that
I would have to say it is.
They're literally, if it's a work, they've gone to a new level of kayfabe, to where it's like, okay, only he and Tony know exactly what's going to happen. Like, made the other wrestler, everyone can have their theories.
Yeah.
But at this point, obviously, only
those two.
Only MJF and Tony Kahn know what they may be doing, and we could think.
And if they're putting,
we can think that it's real. And either way, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Either way, it's awesome.
And I hope that if they're putting this much effort into it, drag it out.
Yeah.
Drag it out. Drag it out for a year. Because guess what? In a year's time, people are going to start to forget about it and forget about MJF. You bring him back at a huge pay-per-view, and people will lose their minds.
Yeah.
And especially if it's, you know what, when the Hardys came back at WrestleMania that one year,
right?
I had read an interview with, I can't remember which Hardy it was. I think it was Jeff. And he, somebody asked him, it was WrestleMania weekend, and they had been released, or they had left, whatever, with TNA, I think they were under Impact. They interviewed him. Would you go back, or were you going back? And he was like, well, we have to do this, and there's a lot of, this involved in testing, and da-da-da-da, so it would be a long time. They snuck him in. No one. The internet didn't know. There was no spoilers. Nobody had a clue that those two dudes were coming back, besides like Vince and probably Laurinaitis. I don't even know if the New Day knew. I'm assuming they did. They probably knew 5 seconds before they walked out on stage that night. They were probably like, hey, you know what? You got to go out here. The Hardys are back. And they probably crapped themselves. And because, like I said, I don't think anybody knew. They snuck them in. Right. I saw videos of them, probably, sneaking them in and everything.
They're genuine dudes. They're probably all like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You got to, if you can draw it out for a long time and you can make it so nobody on the internet finds out, which it is possible. I mean, everybody finds out everything. But it is possible to do it. Bring him back in like a year at a big pay-per-view, and people will go.
Do you think they'll wait till like there's a big change?
I think they'll bring him back into something that he left on. I don't think they would bring him back into something new.
So
like a Wardlow Punk, something along those lines.
Wins,
something like that. Screw him over. Whatever, and then set up a whole thing. Because, again, it's been enough time.
It would be,
where people aren't going to be like, he just did this 3 months ago. Right. This is stupid.
What would be good is Wardlow going for the belt while still being TNT champ. Mm-hmm. And then MJF comes back, screws him.
I would like to see Wardlow and Punk. That would be a good match.
That'd be a good match. But especially if he kept the TNT, and you're like, oh, my God, like, Wardlow's going to he'd beat Punk. Like, is he going to hold both championships? Are they going to do that? And yeah, sure, why not? And then MJF.
Or ultimate mind F, have him align with Punk. Have a match like that. Punk and Wardlow, a championship match or champion versus champion or something, and then have him align with like Punk because no one would see that coming.
No one.
Ever. But then eventually their egos would whatever, and then they would, why aren't we writing this?
I don't know. This is what Joe and I say all the time. And I think if you put the three of us in a room, and it was just like,
let's just start our own wrestling promotion.
Let's do this, this, and this, and this, and it's like, no, you got to do something that people are going to be like,
yes,
that's crazy. I didn't know, or sometimes you got to give people what they didn't know that they wanted, like Kofi Mania.
Yes.
Which was just, I could talk Kofi Mania all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he ended up stepping in for a push that was supposed to be for Mustafa Ali. And then they saw him, beat this person and beat that person and beat that person before losing in the gauntlet. And everyone was like, why hasn't Kofi ever been champ? And that's all it took was one night of everyone thinking the same thing. Kofi just did this. Why has he never been champ? He's been here longer than everybody. And
he used to be Jamaican,
and then we got what we all should have had years prior was, but maybe even better. I think it, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And that just the build up to that was even better. Again, Kate and I were physically there. There wasn't awesome. A person sitting down.
Oh no, because everybody wanted to see
and thousands of people. I almost cried. Okay.
Well, people get sick of the same thing, man. Yeah. Like Roman Reigns. Like, I don't care about Roman Reigns anymore. Has he done much better with this character? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He has grown leaps and bounds from what he started at with the Shield and then going out on his own. The only time you really, I hate to say it this way because it sounds just terrible, so I'm prerequisiting that. The only time you saw him do, very captivating was when he came out and literally, my name is Joe, this is what's going on with me, and whatever, which it was like, then let that dude do stuff from the heart. Because as devastating as an announcement as that was, it was from the heart, and it was again, I hate saying it this way. It was good, but it wasn't some scripted, whatever. But he has taken the acknowledge me, and it could have been stupid,
right?
And it's not.
It's not. It's the best version of him.
But
one of the best I think the best WWE promo I had seen since, I think it was Smack Talk, with Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah,
Miz.
Yep.
Was Roman Reigns, and I forgot which twin was out on injury for a while, but then the other one who was wrestling him for dominance.
Yep.
And then the injured brother came in, and he put him in a hold, and then made him say "I quit" because he put the injured brother in a hold. Yep. And he's like, "How? I can't believe you did that to me." And he looks at him and he goes, "Of course I did it." And I was like, and I literally got chills from the way he said, "Of course because it was genuine." Yes, I did that. Of course I did it. I am dominance.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it again, like you said, it's genuine, and it felt real, and it was the real stuff. It was the real deal. So yeah, it was. Going back to AEW, obviously everyone has seen everything that we saw.
Yeah.
I love seeing them going on. First off, if you can go to an AEW Dynamite taping, go, because you're going to see a dark Dynamite and most likely Rampage. I know for sometimes they were doing some live
some were
runs
live
during I think it was it when the Cup was on?
Yeah. Yep. Because it was fluctuating different times and everything.
They had to move it around, so they were doing lots of different things. So, but I mean, three tapings that we saw 3 different shows technically.
But there was also more than that too.
Yeah,
that we got to see that you didn't see on TV.
There's things that you see, and I almost don't want to say the Sting thing, but it's you got to see 2 sides of Sting.
Yeah.
Okay, is all I'm gonna say. Screw it.
But
Who
even
cares? Who cares? So Sting comes out. You saw everything you saw on TV is what happened. It cuts. They go to commercial, and Sting crowd works.
Oh yeah.
For 30 seconds, and everyone is just losing their minds because he's Sting, and he's just doing. He's doing the Stinger shout, and he's doing the point, and he's doing it to every section. He's pointing at everybody, and everyone's just losing their minds because he's literally a living legend.
Oh yeah.
So everyone just lost it.
And Tony Kahn, came out before every show.
How much better is he on a mic now? I mean, at the beginning of the show, even when he got the timing slightly wrong. Mm-hmm. And then he made a joke about it himself. He goes, "Oh, we still have a minute?" And everyone laughed. And he's like, "All right, well, I guess I'm not done." And even that, he was, he doesn't sound, even from a month ago, seeing him on TV.
He's still a pretty squirrely dude.
Yeah, he's squirrely, but
but
he's
it was
also
good.
Very energetic.
Yeah, and that's cool because you don't see Vince doing that.
No, Vince never.
Unless he comes out for himself.
Yeah, it was all. Even the storyline stuff he did back in the, that was just pure. That wasn't even gold. That was platinum.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was pure platinum. And you're fired. And all that stuff. Oh my God, just great. But just all 3 shows. I love seeing Orange Cassidy live. I couldn't wait.
He is a crazy wrestler.
Yeah, he's so good. I think he's one of the, if you had to put smartest people in currently wrestling, he's at least in the top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
His entire gimmick is beyond genius.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Lazy, I don't care. And then he's, he can do a kip up with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah. Anybody that can do them normally, I'm impressed. If you can do it without using your hands, that's on a level that's
and he's
just...
up, and
And I didn't know that you didn't know that his music had changed.
I did not know when we went there.
That was only, I think, the second time I'd see like maybe second or third time that he's come out to it. So that was very recent. But it's nice that they can kind of, because once a song goes past a certain point in its life, year-wise, the rights of it kind of go up, like Mox's, song. You can buy it.
Yeah. Which I like that they do that.
It's
they
cool
use,
because
like music. Because like if I was a wrestler, I would want to come out to "Hit the Floor" by Linkin Park.
Yeah.
You know
like
what I mean?
Punk has always come out to Cult of Personality.
Yeah. It's
and that's the thing, because there's some music that's just like, oh God, some of the, especially like WWE, there's some people's music you're just like, what is that? Why? Or they change it. Like I'm a, huge punk and ska fan. So Sami Zayn's original music I loved because it was like a ska, and he's a huge fan of that music.
Yeah,
and
it was perfect for him.
Yeah,
it's not perfect for him now.
No,
but when he was there, the Sami Zayn of prior.
Yes,
I would almost say that like the character. The conspiracy theorist character that he has going almost doesn't even need that. If he was to come out to no music, shushing the crowd and just talking,
no one would think any differently
you
of it.
Never think anything different of it. You would be like, oh my God, he doesn't even have theme music right now because he doesn't need it. Because his character, the way his character rose, is
but even
genius.
Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, or whatever.
Yeah.
He kind of uses the same almost as what he was in WWE, but it's not. It's there, but it's not full out like it was in WWE. They changed it, but you still had that little bit of it.
Right.
Which there was, a lot of guys that are out that I was sad we couldn't see, Bryan, Punk, I would have liked to see Adam Cole.
Oh yeah,
even Adam Page came out, but he didn't wrestle. He's a very good wrestler. I would like to see. He did come out to help, but he never got in the ring. The other one that I was bummed about, and I said it to her on Sunday, was it sucked that Kayla wasn't able to wrestle. Yeah. She just kind of got taken out on the apron.
Obviously, was also there. Another friend of the show. She's obviously she had to do more of the in-ring work, but it was a buffer match for what we obviously now know if you watch Rampage, unfortunately, but that's what the younger, newer wrestlers a lot of times are for. These two established wrestlers are now going to have a good Serena Deeb. That's going to be an epic feud.
Yeah. Okay? Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that's going to be, another thing happening, but then the whole show in general, I was super excited to see Christian. I've never seen Christian with my own eyes. All the WWE shows I went to back in the day, still I never seen him. I never seen him.
Nope.
I don't know how, because like I told you the story, I was actually at the WWE show that spawned the Dudley Boys What's Up head drop.
Yeah,
I was there, and I don't recall seeing Edge and Christian there. So. And maybe they were, maybe my, that went somewhere in my brain, but that was still one of the best promos I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah,
as it was, anyways. But that's what's so great about AEW is the wrestling still matters more, and it's very much like Immortal is still, because especially being. Then scaled down to being a regional promotion, you have to captivate them with the wrestling. You can't,
exactly.
Because somebody who comes to this show might not be able to come to the next show. So you have to be able to tell not only a longer drawn-out story, which, a show like this, if the fans of there are watching this, they can get those stories all the time, and we'll be able to, see what happens between this wrestler here and there and there and now.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's going to be it's going to be big. Not only this weekend with Immortal, but we are also going to be at an Immortal horror show an Immortal horror story in Rome next month, which is August 13th, where not only is what's his name?
Gangrel.
Thank you. Not only is Gangrel going to be there, okay, like guys, it's Gangrel. I mean,
yeah,
like it's Gangrel. Okay, like that. I can't wait to meet him. I mean, so not only is he going to be there, but now Max Caster, who was supposed to be at this show, is now going to be.
Yeah, hopefully nothing changes with that.
Yeah, at the Rome show. So
yeah, it's going to be.
That is also that I can't wait. I can't. And we have tickets to actually sell for that. So if you need tickets for the Rome show, you hit us up. Hit any one of us up. We can get you tickets. I got them. They're $20. They go up at the door, $5. So you want to get them early and you want to get them through me. Okay. Me or us, or just message any one of us and we will get them. And again, if you are free this weekend, you want to be in Schenectady, the Boys and Girls Club. Again, we just went over the card. Go back, listen to the whole thing. We got Zach Clayton's going to be there.
That's gonna be awesome.
All your ICW champions are going to be there, and Dirty Dango is going to be. I mean, you going to a show like this for $20. It's a steal.
Oh, okay? Absolutely. Yeah,
it's an absolute steal. So,
and I think I just saw on their Facebook that maybe yesterday that they had 5 front row seats left. That was it for the front row.
Oh man!
So I mean, it's selling.
Oh
you know, it's not like there's 10 front row seats. You know, so I mean, it's selling. So don't miss out.
I mean, they have a lot of front row. Front row seats, a lot.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, because I follow them now on Facebook. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that they said that there was only like 5 seats left front row.
Yeah, so you might want to grab that, people. So
the other thing I'm going to do when we see Max Casters, I'm going to be like, hey man, talk to Tony, whoever. You got to come to the Utica Odd, because the Utica Odd would be a great place for AEW.
It'd be great. First off, they'd sell it out.
Absolutely.
Because it's just a little bit smaller than where we were just at in Rochester. But not by much.
No.
Not by much at all.
It's the perfect venue, perfect city for it. I mean, WWE is going to be there next Sunday, very soon, doing a live show, a house show or whatever. So, I mean, if they can do it, why can't they? I mean, and I think they would bring a big draw in. People would come kind of from everywhere, especially people say that live near the Albany area. They're not going to drive out to Rochester or Buffalo to see that show. But hey, if they can drive an hour and a half to see it, you get people coming from every direction. You're going to sell tickets. It's going to be,
I think they'd sell out. I think Utica would easily sell out, and they'd be like, "Here we are, this a sold out crowd," and like that. That would be awesome, and especially hopefully, to get even more people that we see in Immortal into those shows, because they're more local wrestlers. Exactly. That would be awesome. All right, so again, thank you to all of our sponsors, to the new Freeman Formula. If you want to upgrade your brain, boom, do that right there. Upgrade yourself. Visit our store right on. It's right. Hold on. It's right here. Yep, I did share it. Just wanted to make sure. It's right in the seasonal sports. Click the link. Go right to our.
Show them that fancy shirt again before they go, so anybody that kind of joined later can see the type of merchandise that's there. You would get.
This is. I mean, you can get this. You get this on shirts. You can get this on sweatshirts. Pullovers and zip ups. Anything you want.
And many sizes. That's actually mine. And what did you say it was? That's a 3X. So I mean,
3XL.
There you go. You can get.
Easy. They have every size. Our champ is going to be wearing one. Mm-hmm. And like we said, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's going to be wearing one. We got one for him. Yep. There's no size we can't pull off. Yeah. Oh, and there's look at this. And
there's the shiny.
Yeah, because I'm one half of the champs. Look at that. Look at that. And then Joe will be here. What? I forgot one of them. My bad. We have Rockin' Horse Tattoo as well. So thank you to all 3 of our sponsors. We love you. You guys make the show happen. And I will not be here next week. I'm going to be on vacation, but you will be here, and helping Joe give the review of everything that just happened. Joe will be hosting, and our champ. And I'm just going to assume he's going to stay champ. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
it's going to take. It's going to take somebody.
Yeah.
Big.
But Coffin will also be here next week.
Rockin'.
The review and just walk everyone through everything that happened, and then sharing the news, because that's what we do here at Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Speaking of, I wanted to mention this super quick.
Oh, take
so
your time.
I have a Samsung TV. Now, I don't get paid by Samsung, so this isn't some kind of like, oh, Todd gets paid big money by this company to talk about it.
Maybe we should get paid.
Yeah, that would be sweet, because I'm very all their product. Anyway, so when I first got this TV years ago, I was scanning through, I have it hooked up to the internet, and I find that, and I know there's other companies that have this too, they have their own section of free TV channels.
Okay.
And a lot of it is, some random stuff, some stuff is streaming. There's music channels, there's numerous just Spanish channels. There are, channels that are, there is literally a Family Ties channel. That's all it plays. All the time is Family Ties.
I heard that there's like an Adam Sandler channel.
I don't know if there's one on that
there,
one.
But one of my coworkers said that there is.
Yeah, I know
is one.
Different TVs. I think Sony does the same thing. So this one, and it might be on multiples. I just know it on Samsung TV. There is an Impact Wrestling channel, and all it is, all day long, is Impact and TNA. And it's old stuff, it's new stuff, it's old pay-per-views, it's AJ Styles when he has short hair and no facial hair, it is Samoa Joe, it is me and my girlfriend, we've spent like hours watching this. And again, it's stuff from like early 2000s.
Yeah, that
but
was
then
the best stuff.
But then you'll catch like Impact from 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? So they mix it up, there are overlaps, and we've caught we already watched this, but it's literally, it's just called Impact, and it is just 24/7 Impact Wrestling. Old, new. So if you have a Samsung TV or any other TV that has multiple free channels, check it out to see if you can, if it has that. But yeah, like I said, ours has, half the time we watch that over what cable we have, because it's just, there's some commercials, but
it was the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and it is fantastic. Like, and I said too, like seeing somebody like AJ Styles with really short hair and no facial hair, just young Samoa Joe, a lot of those guys.
Daniels.
Yes. Oh yeah, dude.
Beer money.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
The beautiful people.
Moose. Seeing Moose throughout, different whatevers of him progressing from when he started to current. Just a lot of just.
Oh my
so there
God.
you go. If like I said, if you have a Samsung TV, hopefully you know about these channels, because I was thrilled out of my mind. And it's not like there's 10 or 20 of them. There's probably pushing 70 to 90 channels that you can just get for free. And it's
That's
just
crazy.
a whole listing of them. So there you
look
go.
Up that, see that if that's on my, because I don't think it's not a Samsung, but I gotta look it up, and that would.
Yeah, if you have it connected to the internet, you should be able to get something. Like I said, I know different companies have been doing that. I know it's not just Samsung that does it. And I know a lot of them carry over onto different ones. So there you go. There's a little bit of information for you.
That's
if you
awesome.
want to watch some old Impact and you have a Samsung TV, for sure, look it up on other TVs too. But yeah, man, I can't believe I forgot to tell you for the past however long I've been doing this now with you that there's that channel.
Because that was the Impact, especially back then, the earlier stuff. I couldn't wait for it to come on. That was my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
And I got to actually tell AJ Styles to his face that he helped reignite my love of wrestling, because after, like we said earlier, after the Attitude Era, I had a hard time watching wrestling because it just wasn't the same.
No, I actually
hard,
when I graduated high school in 2001, up until my son was younger and all he was pushing was John Cena, and I'm like, you got to learn about other wrestlers too. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it, and that was for probably a good 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Because it just turned into, occasionally, I did turn it on one time where Foley was back and he was talking to Evolution, and The Rock came out, because they're go back and call Mr. Hollywood and da-da-da-da, and then he, a couple I caught here and there, but for the most part, yeah, after the Attitude Era, it started going PG. I was like,
yeah. I remember the one time I turned on the Raw to actually watch it, because I just hadn't watched it in forever. Happened to be the night where Edge had to retire. And I was like, this is what I get.
Yep.
This is what I get for not turning on WWE. I turn it on, and the living legend Edge has to retire because of neck injury. And I wanted to cry. And I was like, oh, come on. Changed it. Once he was done, I changed it again. And I was like, oh.
So quick speak about him. SummerSlam, you think that's when he'll come back?
Probably.
Mess something up with Judgment Day?
Yeah, do you think him and AJ will align? I mean, I think...
They might. You know, it depends on if they keep going with that, or he'll just screw somebody. Or really mess with everybody, screw AJ and have him rejoin the Judgment Day, because no one would legitimately see that coming.
Yeah.
But the clips they've been doing, the way Finn was talking the other day about he's never coming back, I'm like, well, you're speaking too blatantly about it to have it not be.
Yeah.
But the question is, what will he come back as? I vote for Brood Edge.
I would love.
I think that would be cool.
You go back to the beginning before it's over.
Bring Gangrel back.
Yeah.
You know, somehow you couldn't get Christian back, but you know what I mean?
No, it's too bad. It's too bad you couldn't.
If you did another run with the Brood, even if it was for 6 months, that'd be great. But that's my guess, is he'll come back at SummerSlam some way, somehow, pop up somewhere in a Judgment Day match, whatever it's going to be, whoever they're going to go against, and screw somebody. Like I said, the ultimate mind F would be if he rejoined Judgment Day.
Right.
But then down the line, screwed them over.
Right.
You know, have them win tag team, something like that, and then have him, shaft them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was all. My brain is scattered.
It happens.
High school was
but I mean, there's always a lot to go over. There's always a lot of ideas to throw out.
Yeah.
But so we will be.
Yeah. Come see a great show. Come see us.
And
we're
if you
beautiful
want
people.
Tickets for the Rome show, hit us up, because we have them.
Yeah.
All right. Hit us up. Hit us up in the messages or the DMs or whatever they say it is.
Whatever those cool kids talk about.
Whatever the kids talk about, whatever they call it. Slide into the DMs. I think that's what it is.
See, that just sounds terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's so much innuendo that could happen from that.
It really is.
When people
Don't slide into my DMs. Just message me and I'll get you tickets. All right, I'll hook you up.
Just talk to me like a normal human.
Yeah, talk to me like
it's
a normal person, because I'm not.
You don't got to be like that.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. All right, so everyone else will see you next week, and I will see you guys. I will personally see you in 2 weeks. You'll see the rest of these guys next week.
We'll miss you, Garrett.
I'm sure I'm going to miss you guys. It's going to be but we'll see you then.
Have a good one.
Later.